People are just looking into it and putting in different meanings into it.
Well, it's not by like that. Ted Cruz and others are saying all these things based on the things that happened in Nigeria in the past, how Christians were being massacred in different states and inside church for that matter. And of recent, you observe that the adoption of priests are on the increase. That is the reason why all these international communities or Ted Cruz or whosoever, we have the guts to say whatever thing they want to talk about Nigeria. And I've seen some persons say that they don't have right to interfere in Nigeria matter. Yes, so they get every right to interfere in Nigeria matter because they give aid, they give drug, they give this one to Nigerian government. So now they accept them. And for the main fact, say that they give an aid, their interest is in Nigeria. So our government will go begin to hold responsible, make them better our lives, so that they receive aid from all these international communities so that they're not going to interfere inside our matter. And again, if they not interfere inside our matter, una go say and say una government go crush una. So guys, I bet I just take a look. Listen to how Arise Television analyzed this Ted Cruz matter and Bios Onanuga's response. So guys, now take a look and please drop your comment with us in the comment section and give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend it to others.
Presidential spokesman Bayo Onanuga over the weekend slammed U.S. Senator Ted Cruz over allegations that Nigerian officials are facing the mass killing of Christians by Islamist jihadists, describing the claim as malicious, contrived lies against the country. According to Onanuga's statement posted on X, Nigeria does not have a religious war, and terrorists operating in the country kill without discrimination based on faith. Onanuga explained that the degraded Boko Haram terrorists operating on the fringes of Nigeria's northeast target everyone, including farmers and soldiers, while emphasizing that bandits in the northwest have killed worshippers inside mosques, demonstrating that Christians are not being specifically targeted. He then went on to assert that Nigeria maintains religious harmony, directly challenging Senator Cruz to stop the malicious lies. Well, Senator Ted Cruz's office in their legislative proposal unveiled last week outlined plans to hold Nigerian officials accountable through powerful sanctions and other tools, claiming that state officials are ignoring and even facilitating violence against Christians. And I'll take this tweet. This person, in response to Onanuga, says Onanuga's outburst at Senator Cruz was more defensive than diplomatic, while Cruz exaggerated. Nigeria indeed faces a perception crisis rooted in selective justice and poor governance, not pure religious hatred. Denying religious tension outright sounds disingenuous. A smarter response would have been to present facts, not fury, show evidence of interfaith peace efforts and prosecutions of all offenders. Patriotism isn't shouting lies. It's proving them wrong with truth and transparency. Dr. Abati, I'd like to come to you with this comment. I'd like for you to unpack these stories. We started off with, the defense by Garba Shehu saying that, Jonathan was lying, and we saw those excerpts from, various newspapers saying that, Boko Haram did nominate the late former president as a negotiator. And then the response from Onanuga to Senator Ted Cruz. Your response, please.
Okay.
And I'll come to you.
Two things there. One, President Jonathan had spoken in the context of Nigeria's security challenges. Now, what Ikechukwu is, the spokesperson for President Jonathan, said is that his comments were taken out of context. He was trying to convey, referring to Boko Haram incident and dilemma, that look, the problem is so intractable that the Boko Haram is a devious organization. It's a manipulative organization, as Ikechukwu Eze said in the rejoinder to Malam Garuba Shehu. And that part of their mischief was that at a point when the Jonathan government was trying to solve the problem, they even said President Buhari will be the one that will negotiate on their behalf. And President Jonathan raised a pertinent question. President Buhari eventually became president. Now, during his own tenure, if he was actually the patron of Boko Haram, he would have been able to ask them to just, say, please give me peace, allow me to reign. So I think that the more fundamental issue is about the issues discussed by General Irabo in his book about the security challenges that Nigeria faces. I think that is what we should all focus upon. President Jonathan could not solve the problem. He inherited it. Before him, almost 10 years before him, the problem had been there. The problem is still there today, even under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And that is why, we may focus on the idea which has been expressed, I think, by General Irabo himself, that the government of the day needs to declare a state of emergency on the problem of Boko Haram. But what state of emergency do they need to declare again? With all the reports about the billions that have been allocated to the security agencies over the years to solve the same problem. So there's need for greater introspection, not partisanship, not politics, not my Mercedes is bigger than yours. I think the clarification by President Jonathan, should be adequate. But the bigger problem remains, which is the focus of his commentary at that particular occasion. He, in fact, went further to say that one of the things that he continues to regret is the Chibok girls incident, which occurred under his watch. So it was just a generally fair comment, not an attempt to denigrate his successor, President Muhammadu Buhari. And I'm sure that should be very clear by now to Garuba Shehu, trying to remain loyal to his boss. But no politics about it. The clarification should be adequate. As for Mr. Ononuga says Senator Ted Cruz is wrong. Well, it's not just Senator Ted Cruz that has made this comment. There was this other guy, what's his name again? Amsha or what? Somebody else granting a TV interview and also said, if you go to Nigeria, they are killing all the Christians. We discussed it, I believe, last week. And we made the point that, look, the argument that has been made clear consistently by government is that we are all victims in this environment. Muslims get killed, Christians get killed, traditionalists get killed, but the Office of Religious Freedom in the State Department in the United States had once placed Nigeria on the blacklist as one of those countries where Christians are being persecuted. But the argument on the part of government is that this is not the case. And I said the last time we discussed it that indeed we are all victims. But the issues that we have had in Jos, in Plateau, that we have had in Benue, that we have had in Southern Kaduna, the celebrated event that we have had in Owo, attacks on churches, we seem to give the impression that churches, Christians are the main targets. And increasingly, Catholic priests get kidnapped.
Yes. And
these kidnappers, they ask for ransom. So that will give the impression internationally. Even when you look at the Chibok girls, most of them in the register were Christians. They were of Christian parentage. So Christians now feel that they are being persecuted in the environment. But the residual point is that the Nigerian government has a responsibility to make sure that nobody is a victim on the basis of faith, religious affiliation, because Section 42 of the 1999 Constitution is unequivocal. He's saying that nobody should be discriminated against either on the basis of religion, belief, association, or circumstances of birth. And that fundamental human right applies to all of us, whatever faith we may profess to.
All right. In another development, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has boldly declared that the era of branding Nigeria as the most corrupt country in the world has ended, urging citizens to stop bad-mouthing the nation and embrace national pride as international perceptions shift positively under her husband's administration. The First Lady made the comments during her official working visit to Gombe State, where she commissioned several health facilities, including the newly established Federal Medical Center in Kumo. The First Lady emphasized that the world now views Nigeria as a nation of opportunity and rising global relevance owing to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's ongoing reforms.
In the spirit of Mr. President, that his speech was different, calling on us and Nigerians, stop bad-mouthing your nation. Gone are the days when they say, Nigeria is the most corrupt country. You won't hear that again. When people, even when I go abroad, when they hear you're from Nigeria, everybody's interested. They want to come to Nigeria. Nigeria is the next destination. We have to be proud. What we have to do is rise up and build. I'm 65 years old now. I pray I live long. But I'm working so hard so that when my husband finishes tenure in office, then me too, I can walk around safely. That is what drives me to do the work.
Well, her comment has garnered a lot of reactions, but in their recognition of the First Lady's efforts, the Lamido Ako conferred upon her the traditional title of Queen Warrior of Ako Emirate, honoring her commitment to championing the interests of vulnerable groups across Nigeria. A major investigation by the Premium Times revealed that Uche Naji, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, is allegedly a serial certificate forger, having presented counterfeit documents during his ministerial screening. The University of Nigeria, Nsukka, in a letter, officially disowned his Bachelor of Science degree certificate, confirming that Naji was admitted in 1981 but did not complete his studies and was never awarded a degree. This finding follows an earlier verdict from the National Youth Service Corps, which similarly could not authenticate the certificate of national service Naji submitted, highlighting multiple forensic discrepancies, including an impossible signing date and an incorrect organizational title confirming the document was a forgery. Well, as of now, Uche Naji has not responded to this investigation or made any public comments on the report. Well, social media has been awash with reactions, and I'll take Chidi Odinkalu's post on X. He wrote, "In case you missed it, Nigeria's Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Naji, forged his degree certificate from UNN Nigeria." Well, he went on to say, "If that's not innovative, I don't know what is." Another ex-user wrote, "The rhetoric surrounding Uche Naji is a sponsored political gimmick orchestrated by the opposition party in Enugu. Those who are spreading fake news about Uche Naji will soon face the consequences." That's the same honorable minister whom the PDP Enugu said he didn't graduate from UNN. We have seen this story, Rufai on fire, circulating. It went on fire all weekend after that Premium Times report. I don't know what your thoughts are. We've seen this person here posting a picture of Uche Naji allegedly in the university, but the university, according to Premium Times, is saying that he did not graduate.
You see, political actors will always talk. And you know why they talk? Because we have a culture of corruption. Uche Naji, in court deposition, that was released by Premium Times, was the one himself that said that he did not finish from that school. So, you see, it's part of the corruption procedure. You can bring out a booklet that shows the fact that he was part of graduating said. But the Vice Chancellor was the one that confirmed, because Oji, do not forget, that a letter was first written by People's Gazette, where the registrar said, oh, truly he went to the school. But that registrar, in another public complaints commission in deposition, said that was not true. So it was in the deposition that he talked about, court deposition forwarded by Premium Times, that he said that he did not finish from the school. So you see, we have a system. But the bigger question we should ask is, didn't those in President Tinubu's cabinet verify this? That's why it's a shame on President Tinubu's government. Because only recently President Tinubu was saying all the civil servants that have forged certificates should be found out. Yeah. So you can see what is coming. So it's a government of a lot of forgery as we speak today. And you wonder, where the security agent, the National Assembly, did he pass through? How did he pass through? This was the same face that they stopped Rufai from. They said they had security threat. But they never saw the case of forgery. So that's the politics in the country. Secondly, as regards Govt, Hoji, why I was saying I want to talk about it, I have empirical facts. Govt did write a piece on November 14, 2012, where he said not accepting to negotiate with Boko Haram could hurt Buhari like Govt. So what is he saying today? I commend him. He's very loyal. That even in death, he will defend Tinubu.
Yes,
Buhari. But you see, all of this is just political calisthenics. They just want to attack Goodluck Jonathan, and I don't think it was even right for Goodluck Jonathan's rep to have responded, because it was just all political lies Govt was talking. Enough of that said, there was a faction of Boko Haram that was being used by some politicians that asked Buhari to represent them. The question we should ask is, has Boko Haram also to be politicized? But this was you here in this article defending and saying Buhari should have listen to the clear call of patriotism and nationalism to be able to support the government and take up that position. So what is he saying? You should respond to this fact first. Right. As regards Ononuga, you see, the truth is, that's why I keep telling Nigerians, let's be wary of right-wing nationalism. It's not even about Ted Cruz. There's a particular group called Open Door, a Christian nationalist group that's been pushing this idea that genocide is happening against Christians, which is a very sad one. See, it all happens to all of us. The insecurity in this country affects all of us. Be you Christian, be you Muslim. Yes, like Dr. Abati highlighted, they've been selected case of church attack and the likes. But we need to remember that it happens to all of us. So it's groups like Open Door. Bill Meyer, what Bill Meyer quoted was a report from Open Door, And that's why we keep talking about right-wing nationalism, Christian nationalism in America, that it's only Christians, we should support anything against Christians, we should fight them, we want our country back. All of this 90s is not good. But for people like Mr. Ononugwa, in as much as I like how he's defending Nigeria, responding to my friend and colleague, Mr. Kari Komalafe here, that was saying America does not have a right to tell us.
You watched the show yesterday?
Yes, I watched it. I caught it on Sunday morning. With due respect, Mr. Komalafe, they have the right to prognose in our matter. As long as last year they gave over $789 million in aid, and you collected their aid money, they have the rights to prognose in your matter. If you truly want to be sovereign, remove their aid, don't collect it.
All right.
A nation where the EU is funding most of the presidents around the elections, you said they don't have the right to talk? If you can collect the money, they like to. And that's why our leaders should do better for us, so that we stop relying on this frivolous thing. When the earthquake happened, France tried to give aid to Morocco. The king of Morocco said no. That's a nation that stands tall for its own.
All right. Well, all right. In another development, the Minister of Works, Debu Mahi, represented by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the commissioning of the 6.7-kilometer Port Harcourt Road and 7 other road projects in Abia State last week, commended Governor Alex Otti for restoring the lost glory of the city and expressed confidence that given this speed of work, the entire state will be fully recovered by the end of Governor Otti's tenure. Governor Otti, in turn, commended President Tinubu, saying that Abia State is partnering with the president.
It is important to note that Mr. President and I have been friends for decades. And I know this president, whatever he wants to do, he will tell you. If he will not do it, he will tell you. And having made promises, I'm sure he will keep his promises. I want to also say that for Abia, we are partnering very closely. And sometimes people don't understand what opposition means. When you are part of a government, either at the national or subnational, you are part of that government. By the time elections are over, political parties take the back seat and governance takes the front seat. So it does not pay for anyone to put himself in a position where he will constitute an opposition, because you can't be opposing yourself.
Such great news, great initiative. Finally, we're seeing this sort of initiative come into fruition. Congratulations to the BUA group and, of course, all of the good works that have been going on in those areas. Dr. Abati, your thoughts also on Alex Otti, really quickly.
Yeah, congratulations to Alex Otti of Abia State. Yeah, well, he's saying that he has been a friend of the president for a very long time and is pledging loyalty to him.
Yes.
Follows the trend.
Yes.
You have many governors across the country from one state to the other saying we support President Tinubu. But it's good to see that what it actually means is that the federal government is also touching the lives of the people in Abia State. And also the Minister of Works, who was there, saying they are looking at the Benin Ekpoma road.
Yes.
There's also the Benin Wari road.
Yes.
There are so many other roads. And over the weekend, he was praising the president in terms of infrastructural developments across the country roads. And I think that's in order. That's fine.